Ladies and gentlemen, good day, and welcome to the Adani Power Limited Q4 FY26 earnings conference call, hosted by ICICI Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Swapnali. Good morning. On behalf of ICICI Securities, I would like to welcome you all to Q4 FY26 earnings call of Adani Power Limited. Today, we have with us from the management, Mr. S.D. Khalia, CEO, Mr. Dilip Jha, CFO, and Mr. Nishit Dave, Head Investor Relations. We will start with a brief opening remarks, which will be followed by Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good morning, friends. I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone who has joined us today for our fourth quarter and full year 25-26 earnings call. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to connect with us. Before we begin, I encourage you to download and review our quarterly results and the analyst presentation, which are available on the stock exchange and our website. With me on the call today are our CFO, Mr. Dilip Jha, and our Investor Relations Head, Nishit Dave. As you all know, the world is trying to endure a major energy price shock, which happened due to geopolitical reasons. Most of the people have nothing to do with this event, and therefore they can't avoid such risk. The only way to combat this is to mitigate the fallout, which means we have to become self-sufficient in our energy needs. This is vital for economic health and growth. Luckily for India, we have addressed natural resources, be it solar and wind energy or coal. They help us enhance our energy security and lead us to a position where we can enjoy energy sovereignty. Now, the world has also come to realize that fossil fuel-generated power cannot be just whisked away. It has a crucial role to play to balance the grid as renewable energy penetration increases. As our power needs become more intense, it is reliable and domestic energy sources like coal that come to our help and provide electricity that runs our ACs or factories or data centers. I am proud to say that Adani Power has consistently delivered a strong performance and supplied power reliably for its customers. In the financial year 2026, we achieved a milestone by generating 405 billion units of power. This is in the backdrop of tepid growth in power demand, which was only 0.08% for financial year 26 and 1.6% for quarter 4 financial year 26 over the previous year. As you all know, this slow growth in demand was due to an early and extended monsoon that lasted almost till November and cold weather in some parts of the country following that. However, we have started to see a good revival in power demand from March as warmer weather has arrived. Peak demand has recently touched 256 gigawatts, and it is expected to rise further in the current year. We believe that 2027 will see a strong growth in overall power demand as well as peak demand. Despite a dynamic demand environment influenced by variable weather patterns, we reported a robust EBITDA of 23,431 crores for the full year. Our performance in the fourth quarter was particularly strong with an EBITDA of 6,498 crores, marking a significant 27% increase year-on-year. This demonstrates our operational resilience and financial discipline. We have ended financial year 26 with a solid 12,971 crore profit after tax. Our capacity expansion program is a cornerstone of our strategy. We are making excellent progress towards our goal of adding 23.7 gigawatt of thermal capacity by 2032, During the year, we have successfully tied up 10.4 gigawatt of expansion capacity under long-term power purchase agreements. A key highlight this quarter was securing a letter of award for a 1600 megawatt PPA from Maharashtra Discom. With this, our total tie-up expansion capacity now stands at an impressive 13.3 gigawatt. Furthermore, we have ensured revenue visibility for our current operations with 95% of our operating capacity now tied up under long-term and medium-term PPAs. This strategy provides stability and de-risks our business from short-term market volatility. We expect higher PPA offtake and stronger bilateral demand in 2027. As we look ahead, we are sure of reaching our capacity expansion goals according to our target timelines. The 1600 megawatt Mahal Phase 2 project in Madhya Pradesh is 86% complete. In Chhattisgarh, the Raipur Phase 2 has achieved 54% progress, and Raigad Phase 2 is 47% complete. And the Korba Phase 2 project is close to completion. We expect to commission Korba 2 during the course of this current year. Our upcoming capacity commissioning will drive the next phase of EBITDA and cash flow growth. We expect significant earnings growth in the years to come. These new PPAs are highly earning accretive, which will generate significant cash flows in the coming years. We will maintain a careful approach to capital allocation to take advantage of new opportunities in India's expanding energy sector. We are expanding our area of focus beyond the Indian territory. We will evaluate international projects in the thermal, hydro, and transmission sectors and invest in attractive opportunities that qualify. We have recently incorporated an SPV in Bhutan for setting up the 570 megawatt hydropower plant with this end. We are also aligning ourselves to the emerging long-term opportunities in the power sector, such as nuclear power. We have incorporated several SPVs in India for investment in nuclear power projects. We are identifying lands for these projects and seeking necessary approvals. This is a very exciting time for the committed IPP players in India like us. I would now like to hand over the call to our CFO, Mr. Dilip, to elaborate further on the Q4 results and full year results. Thank you, and over to Mr. Dilip.
Thank you, Taylor sir, and good morning, everyone. I will take you through the financial and operational performance for Q4 and FY26, and then share a brief update on our balance sheet. On operating environment front, let me start with the operating backdrop. FY26 was marked by weather-induced demand volatility, lower peak temperatures, and increased renewable generation. As a result, merchant prices remain subdued for most of the year. However, core demand drivers linked to economic growth remain intact, and demand recovery is already visible as we move into FY27. On operational performance, despite this environment, Adani Power achieved excellent operating performance in the recently concluded quarter. Consolidated PLF for Q4 remained healthy, and at Q4 this is 74%. On annual basis, this is 66.5%, reflecting competitive strength in the middle of demand volatility. Our Q4 power sales reached 27.2 billion units, while our full year sales increased 3.4% to 99.1 billion units. The volumes were supported by higher operating capacity, stable plant availability, and new PPAs for the existing capacities. On revenue performance, Q4 FY26 continuing revenue grew to 15,059 crore, up nearly 4% year-on-year. At the same time, reported revenue for Q4 FY26 grew 10% to 15,989 crore. For FY26, continuing revenue was 55,583 crore, broadly stable despite lower merchant rate. Tariff for imported coal in PPAs were also lower due to reduction in import coal prices. On EBITDA performance, continuing EBITDA for Q4 FY26 increased 9% year-on-year to 5,573 crore. At the same time, reported EBITDA was 6,498 crore, up 27% year-on-year versus the EBITDA for Q4 last year. This improvement was driven by higher PPA tariff contribution, cost discipline, better operating efficiency, and contribution from recently acquired assets. For FY26, continuing EBITDA was 21,285 crore, broadly stable year-on-year basis. On profitability part, at the bottom line, Q4 FY26 PAT increased sharply by 64% year-on-year to 4,771 crore. This was aided by strong operating performance and lower tax charges. For FY26, PAT increased to 12,971 crore, broadly in line with last year and demonstrating earning resilience despite market volatility. On the balance sheet and funding front, as of March 31st, 26, total debt stood at 53,556 crore, while net debt was 45,022 crore. The increase in leverage primarily reflects planned refinancing for ongoing capex. During the recent quarter, we successfully raised 7,500 crore secured non-convertible debentures. We also have raised interim fund from banks in the form of corporate debt. We have continuously maintained strong credit rating and liquidity access. We continue to follow a conservative capital management approach, with the majority portion of expansion being funded through internal accruals over time. On contracted portfolio and visibility front, 95% of our operating capacity of 18.15 gigawatts is now tied up under long-term and medium-term PPAs. We have also tied up 13.3 gigawatt of long-term PPAs for the ongoing 23.7 gigawatt expansion. These PPAs provide availability-based fixed charges, offering stable per megawatt EBITDA. New PPAs carry materially better capacity charges, improving future return metrics. As you may be aware, the fuel cost is passed through for these PPAs. The fuel availability is also assured, as the states have to first obtain fuel allocation and then offer it to the winning bidders. Now, to summarize, our business fundamentals remain strong. Operations continue to be highly liquid and profitable. Capacity extension is progressing well. Liquidity and funding access are robust. Earning visibility has improved materially. Thank you for your continued confidence in Adani Power. We will now be happy to take your questions. Hand it over to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and then one on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and then two. Participants, you are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. A reminder to all, you may press star and then one on your touchtone telephone to ask a question. We will take the first question from the line of Abhinav Nalate from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity. My first question is, can you help us with the detailed contours of RERTC, the 2.5 gigawatt MSEDCL contract? If possible, can you also share the tariff?
This capacity which we have signed in Maharashtra is not specifically only for Adani Power. We have in the group all type of products. Renewable is with AGEL. The battery installation is also happening with AGEL. Adani Power is having thermal capacity, and whatever will be left out from the PPAs will be obviously offered under this trading platform. So this PPA is signed from the point of view of offering these residual capacities and by creating a suitable product as per the requirement of the customer. So this PPA will be served through the trading platform, which we are going to create under either of the companies. So that is the intent of this agreement.
Sorry, sir. We will be, there will be some coal capacity that will be sent. That is right, right? Understanding?
Can you repeat?
There will be certain coal capacity that will be signed, and that will be what Adani Power will be supplying, right? That understanding is correct?
Yeah, whatever coal capacity is left out, let's say we have been saying it that at the end of all the tie-ups which we will be doing, there is a possibility of 1 to 1.5% capacity left out, small capacity in different power stations. So that capacity will also be used under this PPA. We will also use the renewable, either wind or solar.
Understood.
We will also use the PSP. We will also use the batteries. So this would be a product created by the trading platform, and through the trading platform, we will be servicing this PPA.
Understood. So my second question is on merchant power. When you say merchant sales, trying to understand how you exactly define it, given that 20-21% of total units sold was merchant, that will roughly come out to be about 4 gigawatts. So how much of this capacity is under medium term, and is there anything that will get converted into long term?
So as stated in the speech, that today the merchant capacity is only 5%. The meaning of merchant is not tied up under long term and the medium term. So if you take 5% of 18,000, it let us say works out only about 1,000 megawatt on RTC basis. But in the beginning of the year, we were at 16% merchant capacity. So these units are supplied through this average capacity may have remained throughout the year, ranging from 16 to today it is 5. So that is the way we have achieved this quantum. Apart from that, sometimes when a PPA-based power station is out and there is a possibility and there is a let us say facility which is allowed that you can buy from the market and you can service this quantum which is to be supplied under the PPA, medium term or long term, through buying from the market. So that type of quantum is also considered under merchant.
Understood. So my final question is on capacities that we expect to get commissioned in FY27-28, and what will be the capex plan for the FY27-28 and the funding for it?
27-28.
Yeah, FY27.
Yeah. So capacity is, so what we are 100% of that. So in FY26-27, we are adding Korba, 1.32 gigawatt. And in terms of capex for FY26-27, it will be near about 25,000 crore for our expenses.
It is in 27-28.
And 28 as well, FY28 as well.
So for FY27-28, it will be near about 30 to 33,000 crore. Roughly, you can say 33,000 crore.
And what capacity will be commissioned?
Next year, our capacity will be 1.6 gigawatt. So to precisely for FY26-7, our capacity addition will be 1.32 gigawatt. For 27-28, our capacity addition will be 1.6 gigawatt. In terms of capex, FY26-27, it is roughly, so 25,000 crore. And for FY27-28, it will be near about 33,000 crore.
Understood. Yeah. Thanks. That's helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Manish Somaiya from Cantor. Please go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. Just to stay on the last topic on Korba, and maybe if you can also help us with Mahan. But first with Korba, what quarter should we expect the commissioning in 27? And then with Mahan, if you can just give us some sense of commissioning, I would imagine that's fiscal 28. And if you can also help us with EBITDA contribution from Korba and from Mahan, please.
Manish, your voice is not very clear, but what I understood is that you are seeking the details of when the Korba and the Mahan will get commissioned. The Korba will get commissioned.
Yes.
Korba will get commissioned something between June to September. So it will be in the second quarter of this year, first unit. And the second unit will get commissioned before the year end. And as regards to Mahan is concerned, Mahan's first unit is likely to get commissioned in the last quarter of this year, but at the most it will get commissioned in the first quarter of the next year, and the second unit 6 months thereafter.
Okay, that's helpful. And then how should we think about the EBITDA contribution from Korba and from Mahan in 27 and 28?
Yeah. So in terms of contribution, this is an estimated number there. As you are adding this year only, so its EBITDA will be contributed roughly near about 1,000 crore, and subsequently it will so add in its contribution. So from the next year, 27-28, it will be the full year, and it will contribute at least roughly 2,500 crore plus. And its peak, while it will be at peak, when it will be under PPA, we are expecting that the contribution will go to near about 3,000 crore. In terms of Mahan, as we are adding this capacity in FY27-28, we are expecting that EBITDA will be so near about 2,200 or 2,300 crore.
Okay, that's super helpful. And then just to go back to the plant load factor, obviously we saw a nice improvement in the fourth quarter sequentially. If you could just give us an idea of how that's faring so far in Q1 of 27, and how should we think about PLF in fiscal 27?
Sorry to interrupt. Sir, if you're speaking right now, we are unable to hear you.
So, Manish, unfortunately, our question is not very clear. So, we are not getting exactly.
So let me ask it a different way. On the plant load factor in 27, how should we think about that? Obviously, in 26 it was 66.5. I was just wondering how that's faring so far in Q1 of this year, and how should we think about PLF for the full year?
So, Manish, though your voice is breaking, but what we understood, you want to know the plant availability, and then so to reply you that our plant availability for the quarter is more than 91%, and the same time the quarter last year it was roughly near about 88%. On a year-on-year basis, it is in the same line. In terms of PLF for this quarter is 74%. If you compare same quarter in the last year, it was almost in the same line. But on a year-on-year basis, this time the PLF is, so slightly lower than the last year PLF, so due to all these merchants. And now in terms of 27, the PLF, it is better. We are expecting that the PLF will be far more better than in the last year quarter, the first quarter of last year. And in terms of, the expectation, what PLS are also said that, and the power demand is rapidly increasing. And due to all the geopolitical scenario also, the dependence on power, especially for base power, is increasing. So what we hope that this quarter, first quarter of this year and also during the year, PLF will be far more better than last year.
Okay. And then just lastly, if I can just squeeze one more in. On the Bangladesh Power Development Board receivable collection and the reconciliation process, can you just give us a quick update on where we stand?
Very, very sorry. We are unable to, so though we are hearing your voice, not getting.
So whatever we could interpret what you said because of the issue about clarity of your voice. As regards to collection is concerned, the outstanding has gone down, and therefore we are getting now regular payments from the Bangladesh. As regards to the other issue probably which you are asking or seeking details about is the disputed amount and its resolution process. So as a part of the resolution process, we have appointed an expert, and expert is going to hear both parties soon. And once the order of the expert is received, if it is acceptable to both parties, it will get implemented. If it is not accepted by any of the party, either of the party can approach Singapore International Arbitration Council. So that is where we are today. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
We will take the next question from the line of Uma Menon from Bernstein. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for taking my question. My first question was on the recent the 1600 megawatt PPA with MSEDCL. Since this doesn't increase our pipeline, which project out of the list of projects will this be assigned to? And if you could also please share the tariff details for the PPA.
We have yet not assigned the project location so far. So the probability is either the Raigad or Raipur. So these are the two probabilities, or at the most it can be the Korba. So these are three locations where we are developing the power stations and where we have not allocated the capacity to certain PPAs. So either it can be considered as Raigad or Raipur or Korba. So that is the first part. As regards to the tariff is concerned, the tariff has been stated, I think, in the stock exchange filing, it is 530, which consists of 4 rupees 11 paisa the capacity charge and 1.19 as the energy charge. Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir. My second question is on the Jayaprakash resolution plan. What exactly would Adani Power's role be, since in the presentation it is mentioned as an implementing agency? Could you please elaborate on that, sir?
So there is one asset within the jail, that is a small generating capacity at Churk at say 180 megawatts. So that will be taken over by Adani Power as an implementing agency. Apart from that, the Dell is having 24% shareholding of JPV, Jayapras Power Ventures. So that 24% shareholding will again be taken over by Adani Power as the implementing agency. So these are the two generating assets. In case of JPVL, the actually generating stations are three. One is Nigri, another is Bina, and third one is Vishnupayal. So these are the three generating projects. So,
sir, could you please repeat the three projects? Your voice broke a little bit.
In case of JPVL, there are three power projects. One is at Nigri, second is at Bina, and third is Vishnupayal Hydro. So these would be three assets under JPVL, and there is a small generating station under JL itself, is Churk Power Station, which is 180 megawatt. So overall, there will be these four locations and four stations.
Understood, sir. Thank you. Thank you for that, sir. My third question would be on the nuclear plan that we have. I think great to hear that. But are we planning only small modular reactors? Is there a target capacity or timeline that we have planned for?
So far, the Government of India has not notified the rules. So we are only, let's say, getting ourselves ready as and when the rules will come. That will give us clarity what type of, which size of capacity and how we will proceed ahead. So once we will get the rules from the Government of India, then only we can, I think, elaborate on this. At this stage, we are only preparing ourselves. So therefore, we are identifying the sites. We are, wherever we have already the sites, we are applying for the necessary approvals. So we are preparing ourselves ready for the opportunity as and when the rules will come so that we can move fast. Thank you.
We are planning on the existing thermal sites only we have, or are we looking for newer land sites for these?
In our case, this would be all new sites. It will not be at existing thermal sites.
Understood, sir. Thank you for that, sir. I'll join back in the queue for other questions.
Thank you. We will take the next question from the line of Ishan Verma from Antique Stock Broker. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for taking my question. One continuing question is that on the 1600 megawatt Maharashtra PPA, what is the timeline of starting of this PPA?
PPA is yet to sign. So once the PPA is signed, then only we can decide the timelines. We have received the LOA and Maharashtra is yet to file the application for tariff adoption. So we expect that in next 3 months, we should be in a position to get the PPA signed. And then we will need 48 months. So from now onwards, you can consider 4 to 5 years in commissioning the project related to this PPA.
Okay. Secondly, what is the capex per megawatt for the Korba expansion and Mahan expansion? Initially, we were targeting to commission that capacity in December. What has led to the delay in postponing it to FY28?
Can you repeat your question?
Firstly, I wanted to understand what is the capex per megawatt for Korba, and secondly, what has led to the delays in postponing commissioning of Mahan in FY28? Initially, we were targeting it at around October to December this year, right?
As regards to the Korba is concerned, the overall capex, in addition to you are asking the capex of the project which we are going to commission this year, 2020?
Yes.
So in addition to the amount which we spend on acquiring this asset, around 4,100 crores, we are going to spend another 4,000 crores. So it would be roughly 8,500 crores in total, which includes the first 2 units commission and these 2 units which we are going to commission. So it would be very difficult to specifically say what would be the per megawatt cost of units 3 and 4, because the acquisition cost includes 1, 2 also. As regards to Mahan is concerned, Mahan, we thought of that we should be in a position to commission both units this year. We are still hopeful, but because of this ongoing geopolitical situation, which is slightly impacting the availability of labor, the availability of LPG. So therefore, we are taking a conservative approach and thinking and of the view that 1 unit, yes, we are targeting by end of this year. If the geopolitical situation continues for a longer time, then at the most it can go to the first quarter of the next year.
Okay, got it. Lastly, I just wanted to know what is the weighted average cost of borrowing right now post the increase in debt?
Yeah, so recently what we are getting rate from the market, this is near about 8%. The recent borrowings, what we are getting from market, either DCM or from domestic.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir. Those are my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will take the next question from the line of Vishal Periwal from PL Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, is my audio clear to you?
Yeah, it's a bit better than previous.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Sir, in terms of the merchant share, you mentioned currently only 5% is there. So is it fair to say from Q1 FY27, we'll have a 5% as a merchant capacity and generation, or it is staggered over the year?
No, this year, since we have already achieved the 95% tie-up under the medium-term or the long-term PPA, so obviously 5% of capacity will be available for merchant during this current quarter.
Okay, starting Q1 onward. And is it fair to say, I think you did mention on Korba as giving an example like how the EBITDA move in PPA and non-PPA. So once we move our capacity to a PPA, then EBITDA trajectory is better vis-a-vis what we are getting in merchant?
It would not be fair to say in advance that whether you will get realization better in merchant or the PPA. Under PPA, you have surety that you will get, let us say, 5.5 rupees or so. Whereas in case of merchant, nowadays you are getting 7 rupees, 8 rupees also, and sometimes you are getting 3 rupees. So it all depends on the weather volatility. So we will not be in a position to forecast or make a comment exactly on whether the merchant would be better or whether the PPA would be better. But obviously in PPA you get surety, you get complete sight what we are going to get at the end of the year. But in case of merchant, it can give you upside, but at the same time, sometimes because of weather problems, your realization may go down also.
Okay. But is it fair to say, like when we have signed those PPAs and moving from merchant to PPA, so the EBITDA trajectory for them, it is maybe equal or better or anything on the signed PPA vis-a-vis the merchant when they were selling power?
See, why we are signing the long-term PPA is that it gives you a stability and long-term stability. In case of merchant, of course, let's say the last year the prices or the rates were very good. 2026-27, the rates were not very good. Current quarter, the rates are very good, but going forward, we are not sure. But we feel, we are of the view that when more and more renewable will get added, the prices of merchant are bound to go down. So that is the risk which we are trying to mitigate by signing the more and more PPAs. So risk is visible. What would be the impact of that risk? How much that risk is? Only future will tell. But one thing is sure that renewable is going to get added every year in a big quantum, and that is going to suppress the merchant prices.
Sure, sir. Got it. And then in the PPT, I think there is one slide of consolidated profile that we have, which talks about how exactly has been the net fixed asset movement in FY26 over FY25, which has seen an increase of almost 25 odd %, 80 to 20, almost 25% movement year-on-year basis, but our capacities have moved by maybe 6-7%. So what exactly could be the reason for this, sir?
Yeah, so as I explained, in one of the question that we have incurred near about the 23,000 crore in the CapEx or expansion plan. Also, we have acquired some assets, Vidarbha, from the market. So so capacity, operating capacity addition of Vidarbha adding into the fixed assets addition. Then also the expansion plan, the work in progress expenditure is also adding. That is why the operating capacity has not increased by that proportionate. It is only added by 600. But in terms of expenditure, capacity acquisition for 600 and also part of expansion plan. So this WIP is also adding into the total fixed assets.
Okay, got it. The CWIP is part of it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And
Sorry to interrupt in between, Vishal. I would really request you to please rejoin the queue again for more questions. Thank you. Before we take the next question, ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management will be able to address all the questions from the participants in the conference call, we request you to kindly limit your questions to 2 per participant. If you have a follow-up question, please rejoin the queue again. We will take the next question from the line of Karthik Sharma from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Thank you. My question was answered by the earlier gentleman. But I do have a question on a macro level. Given the coal shortages and the war situation, could you just give us insight over there?
Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry, Karthik, we are not really audible clearly. Can you please speak clearer?
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, I had questions on the capex and the capacities, which were answered earlier. But if you could give some insights on the coal shortages that are happening in India and how insulated are we, or how are we taking measures to mitigate that?
Coal shortages?
Yeah.
Coal shortages. How coal shortages happen? How we mitigate?
So far there is no coal shortage which we are facing. So and since the domestic coal is not directly impacted by the geopolitical part issue, and the production of coal in India is sufficient, so we are not really having any issue as far as domestic coal availability is concerned. As regards to imported coal is also concerned, there is some impact on the price because of increase in bunker fuel, etc., and therefore the shipping cost has gone slightly high. But since it is passed through, we will not get impacted by that. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will take the next question from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
My first question is on the minority interest or non-controlling interest item in P&L. I think the sharp jump QOQ. Can you please explain that?
Sorry, we are not getting. So your voice is breaking.
Sir, non-controlling interest, the minority interest, the entry in the P&L, consolidated P&L, has jumped from 8.5 crore in Q3 FY26 to 254 crore in Q4 FY26. Can you please help explain that?
So if you see, the MOXI last year, so the financial year 25-26 and financial year 24-25, we acquired MOXI, so last year it was operational partly. But during the year 25-26, our Tuticorin plant, MOXI is operational fully. So, due to the timing of both the year, this year it is 12 months. Last year it was not 12 months. So that is why this percentage, has increased.
My question is more about the QOQ movement, sir. QOQ. QOQ also there is sharp jump. QOQ.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me give me a moment, please.
Should I go ahead with the next question, sir?
So, Mohit, sorry, we took a few seconds. This is due to impact in PPA actually. This impact, a minority controlling interest is the impact of PPA, quarter to quarter.
Understood.
You can see the MOXI we have PPA. Last quarter, so in quarter 3, there was no PPA in MOXI Tuticorin. We entered into an agreement with, MOXI, with Tamil Nadu, 558 megawatt. So the impact of PPA, midterm PPA, we executed for 5 years.
Understood, sir.
Thanks.
My second question is, can you help us with the outlook on the new PPA from the states? How many active tenders you see currently? And has there been any development in Rajasthan which will help us tie up the 3.2 gigawatt Kawai power plant? Yeah.
So the upcoming PPAs in the market, we have almost 13 gigawatt. So precisely it is from Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, Gujarat. So there are PPAs in the market. And if we make total, that is 13.18 gigawatt. Further, Gujarat has also issued a draft bidding document for bidding process for procurement of another 4,000 gigawatt. So PPAs are in the market from various states, including Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, and Gujarat.
Understood. So my last question on the, you mentioned that your merchant capacities is going to decline significantly, right? And I understand Vidarbha is going to medium term. 625 megawatt Karnataka will start operational. Coastal has tied at 600 megawatt. But still, does it also mean that some of the capacities, our merchant capacities, will also tie up with the group in FY27 under long-term PPAs?
No. So, Mohit, are you asking about the PPAs that we have with group companies related to that?
No.
So the
Mohit, I got your question. You are saying, have we signed any long-term PPA within the group?
Yes, because the merchant capacity is declining significantly. I do understand that few of the short-term capacity will move to medium-term and long-term. But is there something which also tied with the group companies?
No, we have not signed during the year 26-27.
Understood, sir.
FY26.
Understood, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We will take the next question from the line of Shriram Kapoor from Jefferies. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. My first question is on your open merchant capacity, which is 5%. Would it be possible for you to give a breakup plant-wise, which plants have the open merchant capacity? You had shared this in 3Q, but now could you share the updated number?
Yeah. So primarily, open capacities now are with Mundra. We have some open capacity available in Mundra in the unit number 9, partially tied up. And apart from that, we have got merchant capacity spread between different things, Raipur, Mahan, etc. Raipur, Mahan, you can say.
So mainly we have now in 3 power stations the merchant capacity, Mahan the stage 1, then Mundra unit 9, and small capacity in Raipur. So these are the 3 stations where we have small capacities, which makes it to 5%.
Understood, sir. Thank you. And second is, you had last quarter shared an annual addition plan of how you plan to get to the 42 gigawatt number. So you had mentioned FY27 you would be adding 2.9 gigawatts, FY28 would be 2.4 gigawatts, FY29 2.4. But now you seem to have revised that downwards, with FY27 only being 1.32, FY28 only being 1.6, being the Mahan plant. So could you, give an updated sort of plan till 32 of how you would be adding your capacities to achieve this 42 gigawatts, bearing in mind that 27 and 28 now have been revised down?
I think we can give this trajectory in the presentation, because giving all those 5-6 years trajectory on a call may be difficult. But yes, earlier we said that even the Mahan and both units will come in this current year, but because of this geopolitical issue, we are taking a conservative approach, because certain things, as I said earlier, the issue of availability of workforce, there are issues of availability of certain critical sources like LPG, etc. So therefore, we are moving this 1.6 gigawatt of Mahan to the next year. But we are still trying that it should get, the first unit should get commissioned in the current year. And therefore, on conservative side, we have considered this year 1.3 gigawatt, next year 1.6 gigawatt. And for the rest of the period, we will give the trajectory separately in the presentation.
Understood, sir. But just directionally, last time you had mentioned by 30 you would have around 34 gigawatt capacity. Are we still on track for that, or would it be now directionally lower?
Yeah, these are on track. So actually, what's happening, is we are only deferring the sort of commissioning targets by an average of 6 months, and that falls across, that falls over the financial year boundary. So in FY29, there would be, the capacities that are being shifted, let's say, from FY28. Those will get commissioned in FY29. And then, similarly, there would be around a 6 month sort of deferment. But beyond that, actually, it is very much in line with what we have said. So it's evenly spread out, starting from FY29 to FY32. We are commissioning 4 gigawatts or more every year. And, as Kailash has said, so our plan is still, so we are moving as per our plan, but on the conservative approach, so we are completing like that. But still, we are confident that we are in line with our plan also.
Understood, sir. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you. We will take the next question from the line of Bharat Shah from BCS Capital Ideas Limited. Please go ahead.
Kailash sir, namaskar. Bharat बोल रहा हूँ. नमस्ते. जो हमारे the operational cash flow, when we talk about last 2-3 years, the operational cash flow in 26 23-24 was about 14,000 crore. I'm talking of purely operational cash flow. And 25 and 26 has been about 21,000 crore. If I look at our EBITDA, they are 22 to 24,000 in last 3 years, 24, 25, and 26. So when do we see our EBITDA kind of touching 50,000 crore number? Is that something a matter of 4 years or a matter of 5 years?
I think Dilip should clarify this. Dilip, give some broader numbers.
Dilip ji, if you look at our EBITDA, has been ranging from 22 to 24,000 in last 3 years, 23, 24, 24, 25, and 25, 26. Given our upcoming capacity, the target of 30 gigawatt capacity which is to come up, and the agreements which are in pipeline and commissioning schedule, this 24, 25,000 crore EBITDA, when do we see it essentially doubling to 50 or 1,000 crore? In 4 years' time, 5 years' time? When do you think this is most likely to be the case?
So, Bharat bhai, we should be in a position to achieve 50,000 conservatively 2031. Or if we what we have planned today, if we could achieve that, and let us say no issues arise during this period related to like the presently we have this political etc. In that case, we can touch this even in 2030. But if we miss because of any reasons, then at the most it would be 2031.
Okay, fantastic. Secondly, given the fact that while we are, of course, incurring a decent amount of capex, 25,000 crore in 26, 27, and 33 or 1,000 in 27, 28. But essentially, the business is throwing a lot of cash. And as we complete our expansion program, I think the level of cash would be rising. So what are broad thoughts? I'm sure you will find a way to invest them. But given the fact of large upcoming cash flows that the business will generate, any broad thoughts on the deployment plan subsequently?
Yeah, so now, so as you rightly said, that we are expecting that this year we will have capex of 25,000 crore, and then subsequent year it will be 30,000 crore in the overall gamut of 2 lakhs crore of expansion plan. On an annual basis, so if you will compute annualized and average cash flow, this is 20,000 crore we are adding. Now, the interim gap, we are either arranging from domestic capital market or domestic bank. Now, to second part of your question, sir, the quantum of cash flow we will generate from this business, so what is our strategy and what is our plan? As Kailash sir also said that this is the moment for thermal expansion. As peak capacity is growing on, every state is ensuring their resource adequacy. There are PPAs in the market. We are moving from the 5%,
Sorry to interrupt in. Sir, your voice is not audible.
No, sorry?
Your voice was not audible, sir.
Okay, so entire voice, so lost or some part?
Dilip, instead of speakerphone, just lift the phone and speak. That will be easier.
Yeah. So it is better, sir?
Yeah.
So now, so to repeat it again that, sir, our capex plan is, so to add 24 gigawatt, 2 lakhs crore. And for this year, this is 25,000 crore. Next year, this is 33,000 crore. So, and on an annualized basis, we are generating an FFO of 20,000 crore. So there is interim cash flow requirement, which we are arranging from the market for a short-term period. But to answer, sir, your next part of question, what is our strategy and plan for when we will have a huge amount of cash surplus? Because literally by 31, 32, we can pay our entire debt, and thereafter also, from 32, 33, we will have huge cash surplus. So as KLS sir also said that this is a moment for thermal. Capacity expansion is going on across the country. We have also targeted for 24 gigawatt. So this is the moment to invest all this cash flow in thermal. But strategically, if you see, sir, as a country, from 9 gigawatt to 100 gigawatt, so atomic energy, addition is there. So maybe when you will have huge amount of cash surplus, that will be one of the area, or the global expansion. So the things are, so in play. It is opportunity in the market, but it's time to focus on execution and achieve our planned capacity of 24 gigawatts. So we are confident that by 31, 32, our capacity will be 42 gigawatt from the planned capacity. And the quantum of surplus, multiple avenues we have, we can deploy to leverage far more better value. And it will be a debt-free company.
No, I'm sure. Given the growth hunger, we'll always find a way to utilize the cash flow that we generate. But I just wanted to get a kind of a glimpse into strategy or thought process. So thank you. Thank you, Khayala sir. Thank you, Dilip ji.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A reminder to all, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Ladies and gentlemen, as there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference back to the management for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for your time and opportunity given to us to present, so our business. And we are hopeful that we will have same type of support and, engagement with you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Thank you, members of the management. On behalf of ICICI Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining with us today, and you may now disconnect your lines.